You got a momentum going. You're humming along. You're feeling really good about the progress that you're making. And then all of a sudden, it just seems like out of nowhere, bam, something hits you. Something happens to just knock you off your feet or, um, throw you off your curve. It's like throw you off your game. Life sends you a curveball. It could be that a family member who needs your attention gets sick, primary source of income dries up, you get sick. Um, Somebody in your life that you depended on it can no longer be there for whatever the reason. There's a gazillion things that can happen on the way to your dream. What do? Is this a sign from the universe for you to hang it up and go on and do something else? Or is there something else going on? So, um, um, my name is Felicia Searcy, your Dream Life Activator. And I hope this is happening because it says too low FPS. I have no idea what that means. So hopefully, put in the comment section if you can see me because Facebook is telling me that something weird's going on. So let me know if this is coming through. My name is Felicia Searcy, your Dream Life Activator. It is my joy to be your partner in believing. And in this live, I want to help you know how to navigate your life, your dream, when life throws you a curveball as you are creating the life that you love and you deserve. So, we've all had those experiences. You're building out something wonderful. You're feeling really good. You got a momentum going. Things are really beginning to hum along. It's like there's a part of me that feels like, okay, well, maybe I can relax and really believe that this is happening. Maybe I can really, exhale and trust that this is actually happening. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, life throws you a curveball. Someone that you love gets a diagnosis and that now you need to be there for them. You get a diagnosis and now you need to take care of your body. Or a primary source of income all of a sudden just goes away. Or there's somebody who's been supporting you and for whatever the reason is no longer there. Is not able to support you anymore. Maybe gets afraid or just, gets caught up in other things. Whatever it is, there potentially is a part of you, there's a voice that's going off inside saying, is this really what I should be doing? Is the universe telling me to put my dream on hold? And what I want to confirm for you or reinforce is that no, the universe is not telling you to put your dream on hold. That's not what's happening. So here's what I want you to know around this. First of all, you're still living life and life still happens. People are still going to get sick. People are going to die. You may end up with something. Some people will go away. Things will shift in your financial picture. Life continues to happen. Here's the mistake that people make about their dream. The mistake that people make about their dream is that they see their dream as the panacea. It's like the charm to ward off any evilness from happening to you. Sometimes people can interact with their desire, with their vision, with their dream in a very superstitious way. That if I live this, if this happens, then this is my guarantee that nothing bad is going to happen. And that's just not the way it is. Your dream is the invitation for you to expand and discover more of your amazingness. It is the way that life creates upon itself. And sometimes that happens in the thick of really tough things. Now, some of you have heard my story, and I'm going to share it here because it's a perfect fit for this topic, as we've had several people come to us with this, come to me with this, that they got stuff happening. And does it mean that they should be doing something different? How do you stay focused? How do you stay focused on your dream when this stuff happens? So when I stepped out into this incarnation of my work, when I left what I was doing before and got very clear that I wanted to serve in this way, in a very specific way of building a business, speaking like I am with you right now, and supporting you in your dream. And I stepped away from what I was doing before, thinking, whoa, that was the big thing. Like that was the leap. Like, ta-da, here I am, I'm going for it. Well, it wasn't the leap. 3 weeks after I literally left what I was doing before and started this business, my husband got seriously ill. I mean, seriously ill. He was in and out of the hospital my first year of business. I think we figured out that he was actually inpatient 5 months. 5 out of 7 months, in some capacity, he was inpatient, not knowing if he was going to make it. You know, nobody could really figure out what was exactly going on, and we couldn't come up with an answer, and he would do okay, and then he'd crash again. And, you know, this went on for a good couple of years. And there was a part of me that said, should I put my dream on hold? Should I go back and do what I know and I'm familiar with, and I don't have to think about all this new stuff that I'm having to learn how to do to build my dream? And it was so tempting. It was so tempting to collapse back. And it would have been so acceptable. It would have been so accepted by by conventional wisdom. You know, conventional wisdom is something like this happens, you put that foolish dream on hold and you attend to this. I'm so grateful that I was in a structure of support, which is what I get to give you now, wrap my arms around you and believe deeply in the power that's moving through you, the power in you that's greater than any outside fact and condition. And as a result of me staying in a structure of support, even at a very high investment when our finances were really being threatened at the time, I'm so grateful because it gave me the capacity to reach down deep and to listen to what is it that I was to be doing at that moment. And what I got clear is that it would have been easy for me to collapse back into what I was doing before. Actually, a couple of careers back, you know, I could have easily gone back to teaching, and I very easily could have gotten a job teaching again. But because I've learned to pay attention to my life force energy, the expanded or contracted nature of this energy moving through me, I knew deep down that the most empowered, loving move that I could make was to stay faithful to my dream. Now, it defied all conventional wisdom. It went against every grain of my responsible body. That I am wired to be responsible. How many of you are wired to be responsible, to do the responsible thing? And your dream can feel really irresponsible, especially in the face of what looks like a crisis. But here's the thing that I want you to know, that I had to go deeper in my own understanding in order to stay present for my dream in the midst of my husband's illness, which on top of it, that was just like the major part. I was also responsible for my dad's care, who was Alzheimer's and bipolar, and I moved him up from Louisiana to live close to me. He didn't live with me, but he lived close to me. And my brother was dying of brain cancer, and I was running our business. It's our own personal business. So there was my life on the outside was a bit of a hot mess. There was a whole bunch of stuff going on. And because of the depth of work that I had done and the structure that I put around me, deep down I knew that the most powerful thing that I could do in the moment was to stay faithful to my dream. That the way through it for everybody involved was the path that I was already on, not to collapse back. Now, how did I know that? Hey, MJ, glad you're here. So good. MJ, let me know if this is coming across correctly, or if it's coming across decently, because I got a weird message from Facebook. All right, so how did I do that? How did I stay faithful to my dream in the face of some really daunting circumstances? My husband effectively was dying. We didn't know if he was going to make it or not, which, by the way, he has, and he's here, in his full glory. My dad I was watching my dad deteriorate and having to navigate his needs. I was running our brick and mortar, and I didn't know anything about rent. We had an automotive repair business. I didn't know anything about that, and all of a sudden I had to learn quick because my husband was no longer capable of running that and building this business. So how did I do it? What did I tap into to keep me faithful to my dream, not ignoring those other things, but putting them in their proper place? So first thing I did was to understand that life happens, right? So I want you to hear, MJ, you're here, that, there are going to be some things that happen that we just, In our three-dimensional realm, we don't have any control over. And we can go looking for the reason why they're there. That's one way that you can use your time and energy. But what I would support you in doing instead is, what is this asking me to know? And so life happens. Then I went deep into the awareness that everything is for me. Because believe me, there was a part of me that wanted to collapse to, oh my God, I can't catch a break. That every time I try to go for something that I really want, something in my life needs me that's going to pull me away from it. That was a pattern that I lived in, that I established. That when something really important for me was right there on the verge, somebody else in my life would need something, and in my head, that was more important than what was happening for me. And so I had to really shift my thinking and my orientation, my frame of reference, to deepening my understanding that this is for me. This is not hijacking me. And I want you to hear this. Your circumstance is not here to hijack your dream. I know it can feel like it in the thick of it. It can feel like it in the moment. But I'm looking you in the eye right now, and I want you to take this in with every cell in your being. This is not happening because something is trying to hijack your dream. One more time, there's something that's happening that's going to pull it away from you. I want you to go deep, and even in the midst of it, don't necessarily look for the reason why it's happening, but in the midst of it, just know, this is happening for me. This is happening for me. And so I had to keep repeating that. The universe has got my back. This is perfectly orchestrated for me. This is happening for me. Now, the third thing, instead of going to why is this happening, what I was guided and what I did was that, all right, what is it bringing me? What am I to gain from this that will now allow me to be even more present in my dream? And one of the things that happened for me was that it caused me to go deeper and to develop a deeper dependency on the power moving through me. It caused me to own my own power and leadership. I mean, I was leading my husband's medical care, I was leading our business, I was leading my dad's medical care, then I was leading my own company, my own business in its infancy. And it was such a deep invitation for me to reach deep and to really access capacities that were always there. And they popped up from time to time and at different levels, but for the most part, they lay dormant. And so when I was in the thick of this, the invitation is I stayed present for this is happening for me, because you can't do it if there's a belief that this is against you, that this is here to derail you. You are never going to be in this process if you are in that place of, oh my gosh, this is derailing me. It's reaching deep and discovering even more, accessing even more of your amazingness, even more of your gifts and your capabilities, and owning them and bringing them to the surface, and really owning just how powerful you are in that moment. All right, so let me look at my notes. Then, as you're doing that, get really clear why your dream is important. The universe is no respecter of timing. It is not going to happen, quote, at the right time. In fact, your dream is never going to happen at the right time. It's always going to be an inconvenience. Now, mine is probably a bit of an extreme. With what, that one choked me up. Oh, excuse me. With what I had going on, that's probably not going to happen for you. But you got your own stuff going on. And to realize that there's no respecter of time. The universe is not a respecter of timing. That stuff shows up. And go back to what I said before, is what is it that you are to discover about yourself? And oftentimes there is an orchestration that the very thing you need to discover about yourself, there's going to be a circumstance that will rise up that will then give you the portal to discover that capability, that gift, that capacity, to really not only discover it where it's been laying dormant, but now to really grow it and develop it in order for you to have access to it in an even more empowering, powerful way to put it in service to what is it that you really love. So understand that life is going to happen, that the universe is no respecter of timing when it comes to your dream. Everything is for you. And I want you to really hear that. Everything is for you. And if this is happening, that means there is something more profound seeking to express through you by means of this situation. Let's not get into, why is it happening and all of that. It's just, what am I to discover about myself? What am I to discover about life through this circumstance that's here? Here's the thing. It's here. You can't magically wish it away. It's here. So to stay in the question, what am I to discover about myself in life as I lean in and let it transform me? I'll never forget, there was a moment in my husband's illness where I was just so overwhelmed by it all. We ran out of insurance. I didn't know if my crew was going to walk in the next day. I was trying to juggle where to, put Michael until I could figure out where, how to get him back into the hospital because our insurance ran out. And I remember, I found a place for him, and not ideal, but driving away with a conscious decision. This is going to be the thing to transform me at depth. I'm consciously deciding to lean into this to such a degree that this is the thing that will transform me at depth. Now, the power of that intentionality, the power of that decision, is, go back to what I said before, is that it caused me to discover capabilities about myself that had always been there, but I never had a reason to develop them at the level that I've now developed them. And here's the fourth or fifth element to remember. When we are in that state, when we have conditions, it's to discover that you can have a condition without the condition having you, as you lean in and really get that there is a power in and through you, moving through you, that's greater than any outside factor condition. When we collapse away from our dream in the midst of the challenge that's shown up, in that moment, what you're saying is that is bigger than what's moving through me. But when you understand that the universe is bringing you this dream now, not later, not to put this on hold, but now, that this is your invitation to reach deep and really access and discover that power that's greater than any outside factor condition. One of the things that I learned from my mentor is a mantra over and over. I am more than this. I am more than this. There is that in me that is greater than this. There is that in me that is greater than this condition. And I am connected to the source that knows all things. As you work with those elements, realize life is going to continue to happen when you're dreaming your dream, when you're living your dream. The universe is no respecter of timing. It's here. So lean into it and see what it's asking you to discover about yourself and life. Know that your dream matters. Oh, and here's the other one. No, you don't have to do it all right now. Do what you can where you are with what you have. Do something. You want to stay in motion somewhere, somehow. So just keep doing something. Even if it's not all the fullness that you've wanted to do, that you keep doing something somehow. Keep your feet moving forward, and then to really ground yourself in the awareness and the reality. There's a power in me that's greater than any outside fact and condition. I am connected to a source that knows all things. Everything is working for my good. You just keep saying that over and over and over, and come into this community and allow us to support you when this kind of stuff is going on. So I hope you found that helpful. Put your comments in the comment section around, Dawn, good. Dawn, I would love to have you come to the event. I know you've been popping in and out of this. I have no idea what's going on in your life right now. I'd love to have a conversation with you. And I will put a link in the chat. Just love to wrap my arms around you because you've been popping in with comments. And just love to hear what's going on in your life and how I can support you. And love for you to come to the event. So anyway, glad you're here. Drop comments in the comment section about what served you. And again, make plans to come give yourself the gift of a 3-day immersion, October 21st, 22nd, 23rd. Let me wrap my arms around you. Let my team wrap our arms around you to really support you in getting clear on what is it that's coming alive through you and to help you build a believing in the power moving through you in order for you to say yes to the life that's seeking you. Because this is what you are designed for. This is how you are meant to live. Know how much I deeply love and appreciate you. I'm committed every day for the next 21 days, coming in here live as we're leading up to the event to serve you. You are amazing. I am so deeply blessed to be able to hang out in your company. Mwah. God bless.